Oh my god.
It's already wrapping around me. Help me, bro.
I'm trying.
A human mandible.
God!
Dara is a popular YouTuber who loves extreme challenges like spending the night on dangerous islands or surviving on Snake Island. His videos are always high quality and he usually manages the risks well. But this time he's going to Borneo, Indonesia, a place known for its many snake species. He's with his cameraman and a local snake expert named Diaz, ready for another wild mission. Only this time, things didn't go as planned, and his safety was really at risk.
It's probably going to be the craziest, most dangerous adventure you've ever seen on YouTube. So you guys ready? On 3, 2, 1. On 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. For the blood pythons!
Before they reach the heart of the island, they have several checkpoints to keep them on track and save time. But before they can even start properly, they spot their first snake.
Found one already.
Reticulated python.
These are the guys that can grow up to like 13 meters?
Oh, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh god.
oh God. You move that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Look at that, guys. That is the face of just terrifying nightmares right there. You do not want to get bit by that. He's looking at the camera.
Diaz is going to try and catch it by the head so that it can't bite. And then I guess he's going to show me the power of these things. Yeah,
Got it.
okay, sick. Bro, okay, I'm
Here.
kind of scared.
Hold the hat.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Just hold the hat.
Man, I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, nice man. Let him rap on you.
No, holy crap. Okay, there's a bit of power there, all right.
This is insane.
They decided to leave the snake alone and kept going. After a bit of hiking, they came to a lake they had to cross to keep moving forward.
So we have to cross this river?
Yeah.
We do?
On this island, the snakes don't just live on land, they also hide in the water.
Is it going to be dangerous?
Well, it's unpredictable, man.
That looks deep.
Yeah, that is deep.
I don't feel comfortable getting across this right now.
I've got the blood pythons.
You be gentle with that, lad. I mean, careful.
Watch out.
Okay, boys, can you please hurry it up? Like, this is your lives on the line here. Hurry up, please. Oh no.
I stepped in something. Watch out.
Is there something there?
Let me check.
Diaz, I'm like sinking right now.
Hold on.
No, I'm getting out. I'm getting.
Oh my god.
It's already wrapping around me. Help me, bro.
I'm trying.
Is that
Around your leg?
Diaz, it's actually properly constricting you now. I can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of it.
Dara, you got it?
No, I don't have it. Matt, it's actually constricting you. Okay, Matt, take it back.
Yeah, just throw it. Just throw it.
Can you help me on the legs, Dara?
Tail, get the tail, the back end of the tail.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Here we go. Oh god, I got
My heart is literally in my mouth. They're going to release a snake further down the river, away from our trail, because we do not want that thing backing up on us.
Oh, I can see him. He's going the other way. Bro, terrifying. Let's get out of here, man. But we are very lucky.
It's really just hit home like how dangerous this.
They eventually got to the boat and crossed the water. But let's jump to the part you're really here for. After days of hiking and seeing lots of snakes, most harmless, the team felt sure they were almost at the center of the island, the most dangerous spot on their mission. That's when they ran into the one thing nobody ever wants to see, especially far from any help or town.
How did you get... Bro.
Sunbeam snake. Every little movement, we need to be careful.
Okay, can I just say, I'm walking barefoot.
So is he. So the actual terrain and habitat for a blood python is super important.
Super important. I have a specific spot, and over there, it's more food for them.
Guys, is that what I think it is?
Diaz has literally just found a king cobra. Okay, come back, Diaz. I don't want you to like get hurt. Diaz.
Ooh, you guys hear that? Matt, give me that camera.
No, okay. If we want to get footage of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check this out, guys.
Please be careful, man.
It's ready to attack.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay.
Almost, guys. I need to make this guy away from us right now.
Get back. Right. Get the.
Oh my God. Holy oh my God. Okay. Diaz, oh my God.
Right, guys, we need to be careful.
Yeah, yes.
Because we are far away from the health center.
Yeah, we're not getting bit. We're not getting bit.
Yeah, Matt, come closer.
Come closer.
I don't know about touching that guy.
Right.
I think I retract my bet.
Okay. So that's okay. That's okay. If he chase you, I will catch him. Okay.
Okay, he's literally. Okay. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run. If he chases me, I'm running.
Guys.
You want me to distract it?
That cobra was huge. It must have been so scary. Dara was just inches from being bitten, and in that moment, he realized how truly dangerous this challenge was. A bite from that snake can kill a human in about 30 minutes if untreated. It can even kill an elephant. Out there, deep in the jungle, there'd be no chance for help. Somehow, he managed to get away without a scratch. But it was a close call. He even fell during the encounter, ending up dangerously close to the cobra, like something out of a horror movie. At the start, they joked about touching a cobra if they saw one, but that moment showed them how reckless that idea really was. On the bright side, at least the blood pythons now have a safe home. What do you think of this crazy adventure? Meet Charles, a YouTuber from the channel Son of a Bear. He loves spending time outdoors and usually shares his forest adventures with his viewers. But on this day, he filmed something that shook him to the core, something he never expected to see. It was July 18th, 2021, a warm, sunny day in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Charles had been enjoying the summer there, waking up to birds and the quiet sounds of nature.
Living in this 10 by 10 wall tent for the summer, it's on a 100-acre property outside of Asheville in the Blue Ridge Mountains. This tent has two of everything: 2 windows, 2 doors, 2 outhouses. The property has a farm, several houses, tons of dogs, animals, even a pond. I rent the tent on a 100-acre property that borders a national forest in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm surrounded by mushrooms and plants, and I go foraging every day and build campfire.
As Charles talked about the calm and beauty of the place in his vlog, it looked like the perfect escape, but he didn't know that this quiet spot was about to become a nightmare. Later that day, Charles went out looking for mushrooms, one of his favorite things to do. The forest was quiet, just leaves crunching under his feet and birds chirping now and then. Then, out of nowhere, something shattered that peace.
And this one looks like it has a bite out of it. And this one. And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh? I think it's time to go.
A loud, chilling scream cut through the trees. It was so close, like someone was in real pain. Shaken, Charles whispered under his breath. Without wasting time, he put his camera down and started to walk away fast, wanting to stay safe. His mind was racing. What was that? This was private land, and he had rented the site. Who or what could be here? But before he could figure it out, something even scarier happened. Charles pulled out his phone and started filming as gunshots rang out in the distance, clear in the audio. Could this be connected to the scream he'd heard? Charles didn't wait to find out. He made his way back to his campsite, shaken but determined to tell someone. He told the property owner what had happened, but the owner was just as shocked and didn't have any answers. To this day, no one knows what really happened in those woods. So what do you think? Were the screaming gunshots connected? Was someone in danger? Or was something darker hiding in the Blue Ridge Mountains? Share your thoughts in the comments. The next creepy camping story comes from the TikTok account WV Paranormal. It shows a moment that's hard to forget, caught on camera during a family vacation in the Appalachian region of the eastern US. It was August 25th, 2023. A father and his young daughter decided to take a quiet afternoon walk in the woods near their holiday bungalow. The day was calm, the woods beautiful, and he pulled out his phone to film a short clip for his wife. Just a small piece of their peaceful time away. But what was supposed to be a sweet moment quickly turned strange. While he was recording, his daughter suddenly pointed to the trees, saying she saw something that didn't belong.
What's
Yeah.
over there?
Huh?
What's over there?
Where?
It's right there.
There's somebody over there. They ain't supposed to be in our woods. Who is that?
I don't know.
Do you see him?
Yeah. He's walking.
What is that?
No.
Man, we gotta... Alright, hey, let's go up here and we'll turn around, alright?
The father tries to stay calm, not wanting to scare his daughter, but the camera shows something chilling behind the trees. A tall figure that looks a lot like Bigfoot, the legendary creature said to live in North America's forests. No other footage or details came out, so we're left with more questions than answers. All we can hope is that the father and daughter got back safely. So, what do you think they saw in those woods? This camping story is from the YouTube channel The Bell Explorers. The Bell family loves adventure, whether it's exploring creepy old buildings or camping in weird places. But in this video, things are different. Joe, one of the family members, tries his first solo camp at Dungeness, a bleak and spooky coastal spot in Kent, England. It's Halloween night, October 31st, 2024, and Joe admits he's a bit nervous but also excited. The wind howls across the rocky shore as he finds a quiet place to set up his tent and get ready for the night.
I think we're going to head off this way. There's a lot of creepy crawlies and bugs down here, which isn't very nice. Right guys, that's the tent all pitched up, ready to go. How exciting. It's only an old tent I'd laying around, but it does me okay. So nice and quick and easy.
Joe has his camp all set up and settles in for the night. As the sky fades from gold to gray, he tells the camera a few stories, some funny, some spooky, to fit the Halloween mood. So far, everything's fine, even though he feels a bit uneasy alone in such a weird, empty place. But Joe stays positive, reminding himself that fear is part of the adventures and why he's doing this solo trip. As the last bit of light disappears and darkness closes in, the feeling of being alone gets stronger. And just as he decides to call it a night and zip himself into his tent, the calm breaks. From here on out, things are only going to get weirder.
Right guys, we're in the tent. It's getting a bit creepy outside. I thought I heard a few noises here and there, but I'll just put it down to animals, I think, because you know, it's a bit nasty out there. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm gonna because there's not a lot else I can do, I think I'm going to get my head down because it's now 11:30. So, what was that? Did you hear that, guys? What's that? What's that noise? It sounded close to the tent.
Joe was already on edge, and the strange rustling sounds outside only made it worse. His heart pounded as he tried to figure out what to do. Finally, feeling like he had no choice, he unzipped the tent and peeked outside, but there was nothing there. No movement, no glowing eyes, no wind stirring the dry brush, just the creepy silence of Dungeness at night. Trying to calm himself, Joe decided it was probably just an animal, maybe a fox or a rabbit, and his nerves were making it seem bigger than it was. He climbed back into his tent, listening to every little sound until sleep finally took over. But the night wasn't done yet. Just when Joe finally fell into a deep sleep, something jolted him awake. Joe was shocked by what happened. He took a moment to calm down, his heart pounding. When he finally looked outside, there was nothing there. No footprints, no voices, nothing. With a growing sense of fear, he decided to leave right away. He grabbed only what he needed, leaving his tent behind to get later when it felt safer. Joe made it home, but the night haunted him. His first solo camp wasn't about the views or the peace. It was about realizing he wasn't really alone. So, what do you think was out there? Just the wind, prankster, or something else? Joe still doesn't know. Exploring Alabama is a YouTube channel run by Lost Chief. He loves history and makes videos about abandoned places, metal detecting, and creek exploring. In this video, he visits a creek in Talladega National Forest on Easter Sunday. His plan? Just follow the creek and enjoy the day.
I drove up here with the intentions of having a play date with this creek and following it up the other side. But I left my boots in my dad's yard after cutting grass. There's only one thing to do, and that's get these incredible shoes and gorgeous legs wet. So it's not a city creek, so I'm okay with that. If it were a city creek, depending on the city, I would probably head the other direction. I did saturate myself with bug spray. What I want to know is, what is the largest animal in this creek? It's most likely going.
Most of the trip is calm, with quiet woods and the sound of water. But near the end, something unsettling happens.
That is a human mandible. That is part of a human skull.
Near the water, he spots something disturbing, a human jawbone. It's clearly not an animal bone, and he knows it right away. The find leaves him shaken.
I thought that was the points to a young buck, but I have spent enough time identifying deceased people by their dental records to know they did not have their molars removed and were all the way down to first, second bicuspid, and then laterals. I don't know what to do. I mean, I know what to do. I'm just a long way from anywhere. I tell you, the biggest thing that's bothering me right now is my heart's breaking. And I mean this literally to the point of it kind of makes me want to cry, because somebody was looking for that person.
He leaves the woods and calls the police. When they arrive, he shows them the exact spot where he found the jawbone. They also find some old trash and a rotting wooden spoon nearby.
There's more stuff up there. How far? You know, it's coming up around the corner and everything, but you know, where people have been there, like an old rotten wooden spoon and you know, a little bit of trash, but so now we're walking back to the campsite where I found the wooden spoon in the garbage, because they're thinking that may be where it washed down from. Yeah, it's not far up around this corner.
The next day, police confirm the remains are human. They share a theory too. Years ago, a cult was active in the area, and 2 people fought for leadership. One of them was killed, and the missing chief was never found. Authorities now think the remains could be his. It's sad to think someone might have died there alone, their body carried by the creek and forgotten. But thanks to this discovery, there may finally be some answers. So far, there have been no new updates. Sydney is a solo traveler and content creator who's visited many campsites and national parks across the US. She enjoys being alone, but one night in the Tennessee wilderness, that peace was disturbed. She went back to one of the first places she camped alone, feeling nostalgic and ready for a quiet trip. After gathering supplies, she drove deep into the forest on a narrow, winding road. The campsite she chose was remote, with only 2 official spots, and no one else was there.
I'm gonna get out and take a gander and make sure everything's like safe, and I might drive down there, but I might take the top spot too. I don't know yet. That's where my friend Grace camped when I was camping down here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come down to this spot.
Usually, she'd hear distant traffic or other campers nearby, but this time, there was only the sound of leaves and a nearby stream. As the sun set, she made a simple dinner of rice and chicken. That's when something strange broke the silence.
Is that?
She heard a noise in the woods, louder and more controlled than animals. She tried to stay calm, thinking it might be a deer or another camper she hadn't seen, but something about it felt wrong.
I packed all my stuff up so that if I do need to like just close this, I only have this to move, but you know what I've been thinking? What if it was Bigfoot and that was like a deer that he was eating and it was like making noises? Because the deer is scared. That was so weird. I heard it move too. It like moved from like there to over there. I think my saving grace is that I know there are other campers back here, so I feel better about that. I'm not completely alone out here.
The noise came again, closer now, and Sydney's instincts kicked in. She packed up most of her gear and kept only the essentials handy. She rearranged her car for a quick escape, with doors unlocked and keys ready. Nothing else happened that night, but she couldn't shake the feeling of unease. Sydney was safe, but what made that noise remains a mystery, leaving her with more questions than answers. James runs a YouTube channel called Under the Weather, known for solo camping in haunted forests across the UK. Calm and skeptical, he rarely gets scared, but this night in Devil's Wood, he faced something he wasn't ready for.
Daylight, and I'm in a very precarious place. So I'm trying to get some wood. And it's for a fire, but as you see, there's a lot of wetness around. And I'm camped right next to a river. Tent's already up because, as I said, it wasn't daylight.
As daylight fades, James sets up camp by a quiet river. It's beautiful, but unsettling, wet, remote, and silent except for the stream. He gathers wood, sets up his tent, and starts dinner. That's when a strange sound breaks the silence.
Right, let's try this.
At first, he thinks it's just animals or shifting rocks in the river, normal night sounds. But then, the pattern changes. It's less random, more deliberate. James stops. The hair on his neck stands up.
Ow. There will be little animals scratching around, you know, but and also it's when you're camping right next to a river, stream, whatever it is, you'll hear rocks going through the night, and your brain will tell you that's someone coming to get you, you know, but it's literally rocks just kind of being pushed down by the weight of the water. So I think, what the hell? Hang on, turn this. I think I just turn this. Hello, is there? Anybody there? Hello? Hello?
He calls out, thinking he's imagining it, but the forest stays silent. Only the fires crackle and the rustle of trees. Then, in the beam of his flashlight, something moves.
Oof. What's that?
Between two trees, he sees a figure in red watching from the shadows. James freezes. When he shines his light back, the figure is gone. Rattled but trying to stay calm, he decides to stay. He hardly sleeps that night, always watching the trees, waiting to see it again, but it never comes back. At sunrise, James packs up and leaves Devil's Wood, but the image of that red figure stays with him. Jay from the channel, Visually Creeped, is known for going where most people won't. Abandoned places, haunted trails, and spooky legends. In this video, he explores a forest trail said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman who cries for her lost child. A couple once claimed they were attacked here, with the woman pulled to the ground by something they couldn't see. That story kept them from ever coming back, but Jay wanted to see it for himself.
There's really not too much online about it. It's more like a legend. But when they were walking down this trail, and she got pulled by her hair and thrown down on the ground. That's on this trail right here. They will not come back to this place, so that's what kind of ignited this curiosity. I'm like, oh, I'll go walk through it. It might be a stupid decision at the end of the day. You guys are not really gonna like see me use any type of equipment in here. I'm just more exploring. See if we see anything, and to challenge myself, because being in the woods at night, it's kind of spooky.
As he heads deeper into the woods at night, the air grows tense. He's not using any ghost hunting gear this time, just his senses. At first, nothing seems out of place until it is. Something yanks his backpack hard, knocking him off balance and sending his camera flying. Stunned, he scrambles to make sense of what just happened.
Nothing's pulling my hair or anything like that. Oh my God, what the? I just dropped it. Something pulled my bag. Yo, something pulled my bag. I was right here. My camera just dropped right there. Hold on. I just fell. Something pulled my bag. I'm gonna turn it up. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm freaking out right now. Hold on. I'm freaking out right now. Something pulled my backpack. I fell. I think there's nothing. There's no trees or nothing. Hold on, hold on. All my settings are... There's nothing around me that did there. I was on the... Oh God, give me a second. There is nobody around here. There's nothing that could have done that. Look at... Look at... There is nothing. There's nothing my bag could have got caught on in there. There's nothing. And what's crazy... Which way do I go? This way. Oh, dude, I don't even know. I was literally saying, I don't want to say it right now because I'm afraid. I'm not gonna, I'm afraid. I was seriously talking about nothing has pulled me yet. Hello? It happened right here. It literally felt like somebody grabbed the back of my bag and like yanked it, like yanked it. I fell backwards, like it took me off my feet.
The moment feels unreal. Just before, everything had been quiet. Shaken, Jay decides to leave. Paranormal or not, it rattled him enough to end the night early and head home. Amazonia is a channel where the Curious Puma shares videos about wildlife, hiking, and his everyday life. In this video, he heads deep into the forest to relax and clear his mind.
Aqui, na floresta amazônica, é muito fácil. Além da gente, pelo fato de estar coberto o sol, ficar um pouco desorientado, aqui a mata, todo lugar parece todo lugar. Eu estou dentre uma estrada que está a 7 km, voltando aqui em direção à beira do rio, na abertura aproximadamente de 2 a 3 km, porque às vezes o rio faz volta e a abertura também faz, mas o suficiente para mim ter pequenas variações. Cada uma dessas poças de água com certeza tem peixe, mas se você chegar e entrar de uma vez nessas poças, a possibilidade de você encontrar com um peixe elétrico é muito grande.
He sets up his hammock high in the trees, feeling safe from any danger. But as he settles in, something appears.
Ela já estava bem aqui pertinho, chegou e eu não escutei. 2 onças vermelhas, rapaz. Eita, animais.
A curious puma wandered into his camp, quietly checking things out. Luckily, it wasn't in hunting mode and seemed calm. He got the rare chance to watch it up close. It's wild how something so majestic could also be deadly in an instant. Eping Forest is known as the most haunted forest in the UK, a place where shadows seem to whisper and the air feels full of secrets. It's a place most people would stay away from once the sun goes down. But tonight, that's exactly where Dan from Exploring with Fighters is heading. He's not alone. His friend James is coming along for what's about to be a night they won't forget.
Is this truly the cursed body of water that's so famous of Eping Forest?
At first, the night feels calm. They set up their camp by the haunted water, gather firewood, and relax by the fire, sharing stories and enjoying the peace. But as the night grows darker, the air starts to feel heavier. They decide to head out into the forest, setting up a spirit box to see if they can catch any paranormal activity. Things stay quiet for a bit, until they see a strange light flickering in the distance.
That's into the forest. Unless there's someone out with a torch. I can't see it now. Now, unless something happened on the audio, apart from there was a light back there, but it could be someone with a torch walking around. They could be walking their dogs. Some people come out at 5 o'clock in the morning, they're crazy. If you're one of them crazy people, let me know. But yeah, if there's nothing happened on the audio, then nothing technically happened.
Just as they're about to pack it in for the night, everything changes, and then it happens.
For some reason, it's just not responding. So I'm trying to update it. What's that? Shh. Oh, the handle on this. God. Is it really? I don't know. Is it someone walking around? Sounds like someone walking around.
Footsteps start to circle their tents. Someone or something is moving out there. Is it the same person they saw earlier with the flashlight?
Why is the frame then bigger? Don't know. What?
What's that shadow? Is that you? Oh my, stop. You can't see it on this camera, there's a shot. Anything?
No. Pass me time. Come out, come out, come out with me, come out with me. Come out. What? You see anyone?
No.
The f was that? Bro, you said you saw a shadow?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
The tent though in the fire.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
100%.
Because I tell you what, that fire was getting bigger, right? Hold on, I'm freaking out. Right, what did I hear first? I heard a woman. There was a woman first.
The sounds grow louder, closer, but when they step out to check, there's nothing there.
Hell, that scared the out of me, you know.
They set up gear to catch whatever was happening outside, but then they hear something that sends shivers down their spines.
Is that recording? Did you just hear that? Dan, Dan's over there. I hope that camera's recording. Dan, if you're watching this, right, as you're over at your car, I'm setting up to do a quick thumbnail, and I swear to God, right, there was a woman's voice.
A woman's voice drifts through the trees, but they can't see where it's coming from. Realizing they've had enough for one night, they head back to their tents. The forest finally quiets down. The next morning, they pack up and leave, the mysteries of Eping Forest still fresh in their minds. Who or what was out there? Were they really alone? Or were the spirits of the forest watching? We may never know. The Turkish channel Ramble Soul is known for calm outdoor adventures, peaceful views, and simple camping in wild places. Their videos usually offer a relaxing escape with cozy campfires, slow cooking, and friendly talks. But this night was different. From the start, something felt wrong when they arrived at a lakeside spot. The wind was so strong, even setting up the tent was a challenge.
Beni sürüklüyor. Allah Allah. Ya çakamıyorum da. Neresi önü, neresi arkası onu da bilemiyoruz ki. Ay! Başımıza bela ya bu.
Şimdi şurası PVC.
Mecbur çakacağım şimdi bir iki tane.
Tamam.
The landscape was empty, the ground rough, and the wind nonstop. for hours. The team struggled to pitch their tent, losing poles and gear as strong gusts ripped them away. Stakes wouldn't hold, and the tent fabric tore badly. At one point, the shelter nearly lifted like a parachute, dragging itself across the campsite.
Hop! Hayır! Of ya! Nasıl yapacağız biz ya?
Hop hop hop!
Paraşüt gibi oldu bu.
Ha.
Aa! Aa!
Geldim. Tamam, gel.
Yuh!
Evet. Evet oluyor.
Ay!
Böyle. Çekemiyor musun?
Çekemiyorum.
Evet. Bas. Bas kuzu. Altına bas. Allah Allah. Ah! Bu ne lan?
After briefly stabilizing their setup, a sudden heavy rain soaked everything inside the shelter. Mats, sleeping bags, and gear. The wind tore at the tent, making it unsafe to stay. Their supplies were wet and scattered, and water pooled inside. Forced to act fast, they packed up in the pouring rain and left. The peaceful camping trip ended in defeat. Adding to the eerie feel, a strange figure was caught on camera in the forest, reminding us that nature alone can be dangerous. They came to relax, but were overwhelmed by the storm and a haunting presence. What do you make of this? The Bell Explorers did something they said they never would. They went back to the screaming woods of Pluckley, Kent. Their first trip ended in panic after being chased by something they couldn't explain. But after months and comments from viewers, they returned, determined to stay longer and get proof. This time, it felt different from the start.
You know, after last time we was here, we had our encounter, which life out of us, but yeah, it was a bit of a naughty one, wasn't it? But we've come back. We've had a few comments on the video and stuff. Let's get this done.
See what we can find this time.
Yeah. I'm quite excited. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm quite excited.
Yeah, it must have been.
Because
The woods had changed. Their old camp spot was overgrown, so they set up about 10 meters away. Mosquitoes swarmed them, and the air felt heavy. But it wasn't the bugs that made the night unforgettable. It was what they saw next.
no fishing rods. Yeah. It's still stodgy though.
Yeah.
It's still stodgy.
Well, it's firm stodgy, but yeah.
I've got a bit better torch, guys, so hopefully we can get some better footage as well. I've got a bit more power in it. We're literally maybe 10 meters down for it because the original spot where we was last time is so overgrown you can't actually see anything. So could you make a noise or anything? I heard that dog bark then.
As they moved deeper into the woods, their torches scanned the narrow trail. That's when they saw it, a dark human-shaped figure standing still ahead. It wasn't a shadow or trick of the light. Something was there, watching silently. Panic took over, and they ran. The woods felt alive, the trees closing in, and the sounds growing louder with each step.
What was that noise? I can hear someone walking. Joe, this is creeping me out.
I think it's someone walking.
Oh, I just heard a knock again.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
This is get. Joe!
What's that?
What's that? That. No, Joe, we got no. What's over there?
We're gonna have to chance it, aren't we?
Oh.
That's the car.
I'm joking, aren't you? Did you see that?
Yeah, there was definitely something there.
I swear, it looked like a person.
It looked like a person, didn't it? Walking across.
I don't want to go that way, Joe.
As they moved deeper, they saw shapes in the distance, human-like figures standing still between the trees. Every time they looked directly, the shapes vanished, but the uneasy feeling stayed.
Not again. We can't do it. Time. We ain't doing this. Which way was it? This way. Like, no, we need a car. Following us. Where are they gone? I can't see anyone. What is... Let's get out of here.
They knew they were being watched. The footsteps returned. Knocking sounds echoed close by. At one point, a shadowy figure walked across the path ahead, solid like a real person, but no one was there. The fear shifted from uneasy to something far more intense.
We're getting close to the car, guys. We're seeing the car, guys. Right, guys, we've made it to safety. As soon as we got back to that car, we jumped in it and we've sped off down the road and parked up because we weren't hanging around there. We just did not like that. I mean, we heard weird knocking, we heard footsteps, so we actually see something.
Even looked like a shadow walk across or something.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like a person. It actually looked like a person. Yeah. It wasn't even ghost.
It was time to go. No more questions. No more exploring. Just leave. They got back to the car without talking, jumped in, and didn't stop until they were far away from the woods. Lomar, an experienced paranormal investigator, set out on another eerie mission. This time, he and his partner, Chelsea, went winter camping in the mountains, a place locals called Cursed. Their goal, document supernatural activity, try to communicate with spirits, and survive the night. From the start, the forest felt off. The usual animal sounds were gone, replaced by an eerie stillness. A cold wind bit at their skin, but the real chill came from something unseen. It felt like the forest itself was pushing them away. As they went deeper, the air grew heavier. The wind carried whispers that didn't belong. Hidden in the forest, they stumbled upon something unexpected.
I see something.
What? What the hell? Oh my god, I see that too.
Yeah. What is that? Heck?
Yo, it looks like an old cabin or something.
Yeah, it's like a makeshift little hut. Could be someone's like hunting cabin.
Careful. I'm always scared it's these things are booby trapped.
I'm gonna go from the other way.
What is it?
I don't know. Kind of looks like an animal trap. A little hut. Why here though?
They found a small, rotting structure, an old hunting shelter, forgotten and taken over by the forest. But something felt wrong. A deep unease crept in, but they blamed it on exhaustion. Once they set up their spirit communication devices, things turned for the worse. The devices crackled to life, whispering broken words that sent chills down their spines. Then came the most chilling response of all.
It just said they placed a curse.
They placed a curse?
That's what it just said. They placed a curse. I don't blame them. Stolen land. If someone came in and stole my land that I worked really hard to find and to build a whole community and then someone stole it, I would place a curse too.
They heard the words, they placed a curse. It hit them like a punch to the chest. They realized this wasn't just a lost spirit. It was something old, tied to the land, something that didn't want them there. The silence afterward was worse, until it was broken by a scream. It was distant, yet close, high-pitched, yet deep. Nothing they could place. They didn't wait to find out. They hurried back to camp. When they got to the tent, their worst fears were confirmed.
I just saw a shadow in her tent.
Could it have been the tent itself?
Nope, that was a shadow. That looked like a person.
Are you at the chicken drum?
Are you by our tent? That looked like a person going into the tent. I saw the arm.
My name is Chelsea, and this is Lamar.
It does feel very indigenous here though.
It does.
Just has that vibe.
Their gear was scattered on the ground, the tent flap left open and moving in the cold breeze. There were no tracks, no footprints in the snow, no forced entry, nothing. Yet, they felt watched. As dawn broke, they packed in silence, still shaken. The forest message was clear: they weren't welcome. A curse hung over the land, and whatever haunted it wasn't gone. It would be waiting for whoever came next. How would you react if you heard someone singing right beside your tent in the middle of the night? Gaz, an experienced outdoorsman, went out for another wild camping trip with his loyal dog, Fendi. It started as a peaceful lakeside getaway, but soon turned unsettling. While hiking in the woods, Gaz spotted something unusual.
What's he there? What are you doing, mate? I'd be scared then. And here we are, home for night. Gorgeous, isn't it? And there she is. What do you think to me? New tent. Well, it's not a new tent, but I've dyed it so you can see me. And then we'll go find the druid's altar. What are you doing? Oh yeah.
He found an abandoned campsite tucked away in the trees and made a note to come back to it later. After a day exploring waterfalls and enjoying nature, Gaz and Fendi went back to their own camp. The evening was calm. Gaz brewed coffee by the fire, joking with Fendi and enjoying the cool night air.
Go chill out for a bit. I'll have this and then we'll go for a walk. So impatient, isn't she? What was that? Did you hear that? Definitely sounded like a tree falling down from over there somewhere. I kept hearing stuff up behind me, and then big crash right over there, but I can't see up through trees.
But soon, the calm was broken by loud crashing sounds from deep in the forest. At first, Gaz thought it was a falling tree, but it felt too close and too deliberate. Trying to shake off his unease, they kept going. Then he heard rustling.
I can hear rustling over here, but don't know if it's just my imagination playing tricks on me. Oh, this is a bit dodgy, isn't it? Be careful, mate.
His instincts told him something was off. Then they saw it, a strange stone structure hidden in the brush, clearly built by human hands. Nearby, they came across the abandoned camp Gaz had noticed earlier.
Here, Tony Owl's going off their heads down there. 3 of them. There it is over there. There it is, look, the tent. Hello? Hello? There's rubbish everywhere.
trash and supplies were scattered around, making it seem like someone had been living there or left in a hurry.
Just looks like kids have been in here. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there you go. That answers it, doesn't it? Fendi. Thanks then, mate. Oh, look. Bong there and cream of tomato soup. Just heard something splashing about down there. Fendi, stop moving about and grunting, you muppet.
The eerie quiet was broken only by owls and distant splashes. As they looked around, Gaz saw something glinting, eyes reflecting his headlamp. Then, his flashlight started to fail, dimming for no reason.
Seems to be running out of battery now. Watch, it'll dim in a minute. Keeps dimming. Great. That's all we needed. Definitely just saw eye shine over there. Oh, torch. Oh, maybe it was a Wendigo.
In the darkness, Gaz found one last thing, a weathered concrete block with an upside-down Bible on it. The pages were covered in scribbles, names, dates, and phrases that didn't make sense. It sent a chill down his spine.
Oh, do we dare even come in here? Holy Bible. That says the end there. Is it upside down? Why would it be upside down? It's Genesis, the first passage of the Bible, I don't know. It's got some scribbling on there. Can't make out what it says. Mary Ann something or other.
Was it just a bunch of forgotten things, or did it mean something darker? With his headlamp dying and Fendi close, Gaz had seen enough. Whatever this place was, abandoned or not, it didn't feel right. He headed back to camp with more questions than answers. On October 29, 2024, the channel The Journey is the Destination posted a video featuring Jay, a solo investigator. In it, he explores Witch's Swamp, a place tied to dark legends and said to be cursed. In the 1700s, a woman accused of witchcraft was executed there, and many say her spirit still haunts the land. Over the years, people have seen ghostly lights, heard eerie voices, and witnessed shadowy figures in the area. Some say it's haunted, others believe it's something darker. Jay starts the night uneasy, spending almost 45 minutes in his car trying to calm his nerves before stepping in. Outside, it's 63 degrees Fahrenheit, but as soon as he enters the swamp, the air feels colder and his breath is visible. The drop in temperature seems intentional, and as he ventures deeper, the whole area begins to feel increasingly wrong.
My heart is racing right now. I have no idea why.
Shadows move where nothing should. Footsteps crunch nearby, but no one's there. The wind is still, but leaves flutter. Then he sees something.
I don't know if this camera's picking it up or not. Something is... What is that? What the freak did I just see? It almost looked like some weird human thing standing there, and it moved as soon as, oh my God. I don't know.
Shadows move where there shouldn't be any. Footsteps crunch nearby, but no one's there. The wind is still, but leaves flutter. Then he sees it, a tall, hairless figure with a pale face, standing motionless before vanishing into the darkness. It's invisible on camera, but Jay describes it clearly. About 5 feet tall, hairless, with black eyes. His flashlight shows nothing, yet he swears something is walking beside him. His breathing gets heavy, a headache forms behind his temple, and he feels like something is affecting him mentally, physically, even spiritually. When he starts using the spirit box, the responses come fast, and they're deeply unsettling.
I'm being honest right now. I don't know if it's just because I'm so paranoid and I'm looking every which way, hearing every little sound or what, but I have the worst headache right here. It's like right from the side of my eye going up in my temple right there.
He hears the phrase repeated a few times, near the parking lot and deeper in the swamp. At first, he thinks it's for something else, but the more he hears it, the more it feels aimed at him. He senses eyes watching from the trees, and whenever he turns, it's like something just moved out of view. Then, a cold breeze sweeps in, and his camera light dies, despite a full battery. He'd told the spirits to use his gear, and it seems they did. With his backup flashlight, he pushes on, but it feels like the woods are alive and don't want him there. Then he spots a light where no one should be. The swamp is remote, with no other visitors. He was supposed to be alone. Jay doesn't get answers, but he doesn't need them. He's felt watched, seen a figure, heard voices, and had his gear fail. As the swamp grows colder and quieter, he leaves, knowing that sometimes it's the forest itself telling you to go. Meet Coin and Victoria from the YouTube channel Wiggins Wild World Life Off-Grid. They share their journey of developing a raw piece of land, documenting the ups and downs of off-grid life. From exploring the property to planning their build, they invite viewers along for the ride. One day, what started as a normal land survey turned into something much darker. They were on their new 20-acre parcel in the Sonoran Desert, trying to mark the corner of the first 5 acres they'd developed. Navigating by sight, they used trees and landscape features as reference points to establish their lines.
We're out here today on the property trying to find the last corner marking of the, and we're doing it by sight because it's kind of fun getting to hide and, or not hide and seek, but kind of hunt for something. A tree with something behind it out here to figure out our straight line, and we just realized a tree is going to block our view, so now we're going to have to use this tree, this new tree, as our reference point.
The untouched land was part of its charm, a blank canvas for their off-grid dreams. While exploring, they came across an unusual plant, a coyote melon.
There's a locust, actually. It looks like it's fucking huge.
What is this?
Not to be a well-actually guy. A post-production coin here. We found out these are actually called coyote melons, or coyote gourds. Their fruits are bright yellow like you see in the video. They can be dark green with white stripes. It says the rind is hard and thins with age. With a very bitter flavor, the fruits are inedible, though Native Americans use them for soap and also ground seeds to use.
They even left a piece of the fruit for a local insect, sharing a small moment with the native wildlife. But that innocent encounter was soon overshadowed by more troubling discoveries. It started with 2 pesos in the wash. Odd, considering the land had never been lived on.
We found, first we found a couple pesos and we were like, that's cute, washed away from Mexico.
Like, I was just walking, I kept finding stones, and then all of a sudden I looked down and I thought it was an Apple AirTag, and it was
2 pesos.
But the discovery took a more disturbing turn when they found a child-sized Puma backpack that looked like it had been cut, and a small child's shoe.
Found a little kid's
Start over.
Okay.
I just pressed play, sorry.
It's okay. So we just found a little kid's backpack, like a kid-sized backpack, which wouldn't be too alarming or anything, but it's in the wash. And a little while ago, just randomly walking through here, we found 2 pesos, 2 peso coins. And we found a little kid's shoe. Yeah, and we happened to come across
looking at it.
some weird stuff. Like we found a little kid's shoe. It looks like it's at least like a couple years old. Found a Puma
Small backpack, like
it's like a little kid's backpack, and it's been like cut through, and it was weird because like you could tell it had been cut, like
on the front pocket.
The way it like deteriorated, that didn't match. It like was cut.
The mix of items, money, a child's shoe, and a torn backpack in such a remote place started to paint a troubling picture, especially being so close to the border. The most alarming discovery was near a pack rat nest. Coin found a bone.
Take a video, but and then he found a bone on it, and I'll have to take a picture of that bone, and I'll show you the bone.
So it would be different if it was just the shoe. But we found a little kid's shoe. We found a little kid's backpack, and we found this bone under that tree.
Later, they found more bones. Most looked like they could be from a deer, but one piece stood out. It was cleanly cut, not broken naturally.
Oh, how do I make this big? I just saw these bones right here.
More bones, and not when we were looking either. Like,
yeah, that doesn't look like a...
Doesn't that look like a really clean cut there?
It does. You can see that's like a socket, right? It's a ball, a socket. So that would be like a back leg, like a, looks like a deer or a coyote maybe. This is cut.
That is weird. Stay.
Coin felt something was off even before finding the first bone. The atmosphere was heavy, and as they discovered more, pesos, a child's shoe, a cut backpack, and bones, one of them cleanly cut, it all added up to a deeply unsettling feeling. It seemed these weren't just random items lost to the desert. It could be evidence of something tragic, maybe linked to someone trying to cross the border. Realizing how serious this could be, Coin and Victoria knew they couldn't ignore it. They called the non-emergency sheriff's line to report what they had found.
We're just recording this because we called a non-emergency line about the bones and everything we found earlier. And now we're gonna go meet a deputy sheriff out at the property to show him the bones we picked up.
Took a huge dab and drank half a beer, and now I gotta go walk a deputy sheriff through our property out in the middle of nowhere to find some possible human remains.
That's what.
Although they did the right thing by calling the authorities, disturbing questions remained. What tragic story lay behind these scattered items? Were the bones from an animal or something worse? What had happened on this remote land before they arrived? The excitement of their new property was now clouded by a dark mystery, a reminder that the wilderness can hide far more than beauty. They hoped the investigation would bring answers, but their off-grid adventure had taken a chilling and unforgettable turn. Tom's Trails, a YouTube channel known for outdoor adventures, documented a chilling experience on March 9th, 2025. In his latest video, Tom went on his first Ivy Wild Camp with his friend Matt. Excited but a little nervous, he was ready to spend a night under the stars with minimal gear. The conditions were perfect. 8 degrees Celsius, clear skies, and no rain. They set up camp, laid out their bivy bags, and made dinner over a small fire. The forest was silent except for rustling leaves and distant animal calls. After eating, they sat by the fire, enjoying the calm. But as the night grew deeper, Tom felt something shift. A nervous energy turned into a strong feeling of being watched.
Some activity. There's been some like deers and foxes running around. One got really close and then bolted and heard me move. Been a lot of stuff going on, but it's not been like scary. It's been quite nice and relaxing. It's been crazy warm as well.
The wind had died down, and the usual forest sounds faded into an eerie stillness. Tom tried to dismiss the unease as paranoia, but then the noises started. At first, they were faint, nearly lost in the fire's crackle, but soon they became clear, rhythmic and deliberate. Twigs snapped in a steady pattern, as if something was pacing just beyond sight. Tom and Matt exchanged uneasy glances, listening closely. These weren't the usual night sounds. They had a pattern, a purpose. Every time they thought it had stopped, another twig would snap closer than before. Tom tried to tell himself it was just an animal, maybe a deer, but it felt wrong. Deer flee at danger. This felt like it was watching, testing them. As Tom lay awake, every tiny rustle sent a fresh wave of unease. Then, as he was finally drifting off to a restless sleep, a new sound emerged, much closer this time. A soft rustling near the camp made Tom freeze. Before he could react, something brushed against his bivy bag. It wasn't the wind or his imagination. Something was right there. Then came the footsteps, slow and deliberate, fading into the darkness. Tom wanted to think it was an animal, but animals don't act like that. They don't come that close, stand still, and then vanish. Whatever had been there had a purpose. It watched them, tested them, and then left. The rest of the night was spent in tense silence. By morning, the woods seemed normal again, but Tom knew better. What was supposed to be a simple Bivy Wild camp turned into something much more unsettling. To this day, he doesn't know what was out there. One thing's certain, he won't be going back. What do you think was the most disturbing encounter on this list? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable while camping? Let us know in the comments. Felipe Santa is a Brazilian content creator who explores haunted places, abandoned sites, and remote supernatural hotspots. His channel mixes curiosity about the paranormal with solo adventures, often going where most wouldn't dare alone. In this episode, Felipe plans to spend the night inside his car on what locals call the most haunted road in the certain region, deep in Hydrolandia, Serra. What was supposed to be a quiet night in his vehicle quickly becomes something else. He starts by driving along an old overgrown road that's barely used anymore. Once busy, it's now cracked and swallowed by wild vegetation.
There, look. A fallen tree already in the middle of the road. Hi. Let me shift gears here now, just by hand. How is it here, guys? Spooky. I even have the window down. I'm already scared here. I'm about to close this window. Look how spooky this place is, family. I'm only going to show you part of the place, family. Why? Because otherwise the video will be too long just for us to get there. It's going to be kind of spooky. Watch out. Wow, the road is bad, family. Until one day I hadn't driven here after the rain. Man, I thought it was the end of the line. I thought I was in the wrong place. Look, it's because of the curve, boy. There's a haunted house here on this side too. I camped here by the river nearby. I'm not going to lie to you, man, it was creepy. It was scary even as soon as I flew out of there. It was really creepy. Look how this road here is, family. It's a road that used to be quite busy. Then I don't know what happened that it stopped being busy. It ended up like this. I don't know if it was because it was abandoned. It's an abandoned road. But it's good, family, but the rain is ruining it. Get it? But come on, family, follow us there. If you're just arriving, welcome to Felipe Sina Motovlogs channel. There's noise out there, family. I think it's the tires in the bushes, right? It's already starting to feel like we're being followed. And here you can't get a phone signal or anything. Everything falls in the middle of the road. Guys, there are 2 houses here on the road too. Oh no, this is the haunted house. Let's see here. Drive the car here. Half assemble it. No, guys, it worked. Here I have it for you to see. I don't know if you saw the lightning there, family. Look, slipping, all over this place here, look. Haunted house over there, look. People say it's quite haunted at night. During the day too, guys, but during the day no one walks around, right? Just me there, guys, in the middle of the woods. God bless us.
The area is surrounded by dense brush, shadowy groves, and crumbling houses. Locals say some are cursed or haunted by spirits.
Kaya?
Legends surround this road, ghostly lights, figures appearing out of nowhere, and eerie sounds like footsteps and dragging chains. Felipe plans to park his car and try to sleep through the night while filming. He passes abandoned buildings, one said to be a hotspot for sightings. Picking a quiet, isolated spot, he sets up camp in his car, feeling uneasy. Local stories talk about flickering lanterns with no one holding them, shadowy figures chasing riders, and whispers in the dark. Originally, he planned to light a small fire, but an approaching storm changes his mind. As night falls and the storm grows, he starts to hear noises, leaves crunching, branches shifting, then something tugging at the car door and a clicking sound.
I heard something trying to open the car door, family. If someone was behind me, I heard it, look. There's a footprint here, look.
He thinks something is trying to open the door from outside. He quickly checks the locks, hands shaking. One door might have been unlatched. Fear washes over him as he locks every door, inspects the windows, and steadies the camera. For a moment, he's not sure if he's alone. No faces appear, but he can feel something watching. His breathing gets heavy as he checks the mirrors and the woods around him. Dread fills him. He thinks about staying, but his instincts say to go. Whatever is outside is too quiet to be an animal and too persistent to be in his head. He starts the car and drives away. When he reaches the locked gate he saw earlier, it now feels like a barrier, almost daring him to stop. The fear is intense, but he keeps going, leaving the road and whatever was there behind. Felipe never saw the figure or caught it on camera, but he felt it. That was enough. What do you think? Let me know. Meet Ben, the creator of 401 Files, a YouTube channel where he explores remote and eerie locations, hunting for signs of the unexplained, cryptids, UFOs, and more. His raw reactions to these unsettling places keep viewers hooked, but one trip would push his limits like never before. It started with Ben heading into a forest known for its dark past and stories of a creature called the Dog Man.
Who encounter this beast during their time there. And then over the years, it's a lot of times people who are, again, alone, either on an isolated road or in the woods. Their encounters are very similar, though. They do talk about this beast coming out of the woods. It is very agile. It jumps in front of their car or in front of them. It scratches at their houses or their tents. So
he noticed the ominous sign when his phone switched to SOS mode, a reminder of how remote and isolated he was.
The phone has just turned into SOS mode, which basically means that the network provider has realized that I'm in a location that is quite remote and the signal here is very limited, if there's any signal at all. So it's always very telling when the phone does that, because it hits home that bit more about where you are. And when you're driving through this forest drive like this with nothing but trees at either side of you, for as far as the eye can see.
The weather mirrored the unsettling mood, turning from pleasant to something out of a horror film. As Ben set up camp, he planned to use his EMF reader, hoping to catch signs of anything strange in a place already known for eerie stories, including a dog man sighting by a mountain biker.
The woods, the plan for tonight is to get the tarp set up, get laid under the tarp, and spend the night here listening out. I brought the EMF reader with me. I know that a lot of you like to see me out in these locations using that EMF reader. So that's out with me tonight, and hopefully we can get a specific location that I'm heading towards right now. I'm just trying to make my way to a location that I've been before. This is where we spoke about the Dogman sighting. If you go back to my videos, there was a very interesting case that came from here regarding a mountain bike rider building a trail that cut through the woods. And while staying over late one night, he was pretty much harassed and then eventually chased out of the woods by something on 2 feet.
As Ben ventured deeper, he shared his belief that other life forms exist, something he's convinced of from first-hand experiences.
I don't know if a dogman exists, just in the same way that I don't know if a Bigfoot exists. What I do know is that other life forms are without any doubt stepping foot onto this planet. How do I know? Because I've experienced this firsthand.
His dog, Lily, seemed to sense something too, trying to mask her scent, adding to the uneasy feeling of the trek.
Picked up on some kind of a scent. She's trying to mask her own smell with whatever that is on the floor.
Later, Ben found another balloon, just like one he'd seen on a past expedition. It reminded him of a viewer's comment, suggesting it might have a deeper meaning.
What is that in the tree? Can you believe this? It's another balloon. It's another party balloon. What is the chances of me finding this? That's 2 videos in the middle of nowhere in 2 balloons. Somebody actually left a comment on the last video regarding the balloon, saying that there's some kind of significance to that and that it's been documented in other documentaries. So if you was the person that left me that comment.
Ben's journey had him thinking about cryptids and where they might come from, including theories about Bigfoot in the UK and ideas about interdimensional beings. His focus shifted when he noticed a series of snapped trees.
So this is something that I've really been showing an interest in lately. I've not spoke to you guys about this, but it's been secretly there in the back of my mind, and I think I might be onto something. You remember a few videos back when a few days ago I saw a YouTube video of another guy that gets out hunting for cryptids, and he found exactly the same scenario.
So we're out on a scout today, out in the woods, undisclosed location for safety reasons. And here's things that always make you like scratch your head. Like, how does that get broken along with that one right there, and that one down there, and that one there? We don't get a lot of snow up here where we're at. The winds do get a little crazy, but all 3 of these?
This discovery only deepened his curiosity about the strange things in these woods. While searching for a place to camp, he stumbled upon an old logging route.
It's quite hard going. Been walking for about 15-20 minutes now, but the footing all the way through that woods was not solid, so been falling all over and stumbling. Takes it out of you. As you can see behind me now, the sun is going down and it's turning into what is a beautiful night. There's a bit of blue sky appearing through the clouds above me, and the wind isn't too bad either, so all in all it's set to be a really good night. I'm still trying to find somewhere to set up the tarp with a bit of even ground so I can sit down and talk to you guys as we absorb the night. But what I'm thinking now is that maybe I should just find like an old logging route and sit on the track. You know, a route that's not been used for a while, like this one behind me.
But the exploration took a strange turn when he came across something that looked like it belonged in Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons is this.
Only to realize he'd stumbled on something much bigger and more unsettling, an abandoned paintball or activity arena hidden deep in the woods.
Right back off into the distance. I'm going to check this out a bit more. I hope there's no one around because there's a few buildings here. So I hope there's nobody going to jump out and be like, "What are you doing?" Because that will really scare me. Looks like some kind of a paintballing arena. I didn't know that Dalby had a paintballing arena.
The structures felt completely out of place. Ben hoped he wouldn't find anyone there. "I'm going to head over there in a minute. That is freaky. I hope there's no one in those buildings," he said. The abandoned site, themed around aliens versus Predator, only added to the unsettling vibe.
That Predator? Not Predator. Alien. Like out of the franchise movies, Aliens.
It really is. That's so cool. And there is predator.
Ben noticed there were no paintball splatters or pellets, even though there were masks and equipment around. It made him think the place was either never really used or had been left behind in a rush.
Oh, cool. Paintballing masks. But the weird thing is it can't be paintballing because there's no paintball splatters anywhere. Like, I've not seen one burst paintball. Like, usually when you go to a paintballing place, there is paint. I mean, look at the masks. They're pretty much clean. I mean, there is that splat on top, but I think that's been purposely put there to show what team this person's on. I mean, look at the ground. There's no pellets or burst paintballs, which is usually what you see. It just looks like it's been abandoned. Why would they leave all this stuff lying around? Second thing, not one burst paintball. Look at the floor. Look how clean this is. This is the heart of what would have been a combat site. You can imagine everyone hiding behind the tyres, in the towers, unleashing hell, but there's not one burst paintball or one pellet.
The cleanliness of the combat zone stood out. Towers and fences were almost spotless, with barely a trace of paint.
And it just looks like people have upped and left at the drop of a hat, with no one around. No evidence that a game ever existed. I mean, look at this tower. Not one splat of paint on there. Not one. I don't know, look how clean that is. Guys that have been paintballing, you'll know what I'm saying. When you go to places like this, it's caked in splat marks. This fence is completely clean. There's maybe there's two rounds that have been fired at this whole entire fence. 3, if we include that one there. Now 3 rounds in the whole of this area.
Adding to the mystery, there weren't any CCTV cameras. Odd for a place like that.
Not one CCTV camera. Not one. Not even on the hut that was... Before I pressed stop by accident on the video, is that not one CCTV camera. Not one. Not even on the huts that, you know, looked like people would gather to pay and use this facility. Nothing.
A fleeting glimpse of a dark shape in the shadows sent a jolt of fear through Ben. It looked like a figure standing perfectly still.
That scared me. Let me just zoom into this so you guys can see what I've just seen. I'm guessing it's some kind of a tree with the shape of shoulders and a head, but when you're walking pretty fast, it caught me off guard. That just looked like a guy standing in the shadows. Do you not think? Like the head?
But the most shocking thing was yet to come. A tree covered in game cameras. The sight left him speechless and deeply unsettled.
Generically, just... What the hell? Is that a tree full of game cameras? And I'm talking like a tree full of game cameras. Can anyone make sense of that?
Even with the overwhelming creepiness, Ben decided to spend the night in one of the abandoned huts. His fear was clear, but he stayed.
So this is going to be home for the night. One of these. I've decided I think I'm going to stay here rather than set the tarp up. I cannot express to you how creepy this place is. I don't know if it's doing it justice on the video, but I'm absolutely terrified right now. You know, this isn't just like some kind of local attraction with a built-up urban area just in the background. This is in the heart of a woods that's notorious, and I mean notorious, for really, really strange and unexplained.
He admitted he was genuinely terrified, noting the forest's reputation for strange and unexplained things. As night deepened, his fear grew. The wind picked up, and being surrounded by creepy huts in an abandoned arena only made things worse.
I don't think I've been this scared for a very long time. You know, this isn't my usual stomping ground. The wind's picking up as well. Can you guys hear that?
Add to that, I'm surrounded by these creepy looking huts. You know, it's definitely got some kind of cabin in the woods feel.
He mentioned the Glimmerman, a cryptid known for its camouflage abilities. Just thinking about it made his anxiety even worse in that eerie setting.
I really hope not. You know, we hear a lot about the Glimmerman and some of the abilities that he has. That resembles heavily what the Predator's capable of. That thing alone terrifies me. I shouldn't even be really talking about that, to be honest, right now here, because that's only going to make matters worse. But the Glimmerman, wow, that is a terrifying, terrifying phenomenon. If anyone's new to hearing that word, go research that. And I'm not talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the movie that was in, like, I think it was the 80s or the 90s or something like that. I'm talking about the cryptid that is able to camouflage itself and almost take on the resemblance of water to surround and submerge itself with the environment. Is such a creepy, creepy new thing.
Feeling exposed in the clearing and surrounded by the deep woods, he admitted just how intense his anxiety was.
I'm really freaking out at this point because I'm stood right now in the middle of the arena, literally smack bang, surrounded by broken down cabins and tire walls like this. And I feel very vulnerable because in the center here, the trees open out. So I'm basically stood in the middle of a clearing with deep woods all around me, 360 degrees. Now, if there's anything stood in the wooded area or the wood line.
His exploration ended suddenly when he thought he heard someone close by, making him retreat quickly.
I'm gonna get out of these woods because I think I've just heard someone talk and that's freaking me out. Lily, come. Lily, come.
Nothing more was seen or heard, but the heavy feeling of being watched grew stronger all night. Ben and his dog Lily both stayed on edge, showing just how creepy the abandoned place was. What really happened at this strange, empty arena is still a scary mystery, hidden deep in a forest known for its dark stories. Brendan Explores is a UK-based YouTuber who loves camping. His channel mainly focuses on working on his camper van. Sometimes he tries stealth camping, but this time he might have picked a risky spot.
Oh. Good morning, campers. It is the day before we embark on a 4-day trip in this van, which will be in this video. But we have some problems to address. Number one is this leaky sink. We cannot go on a trip for multiple days with gaffer tape wrapped around that U-bend. So we need to get in there and take a look at that. I've also brought some more accessories for this van, one of which being a brand new placemat to be able to go at the front once we've obviously cleaned that and given it a mop. Probably done that before I click record.
The video begins with Brendan working on his van, then heading out to get some food. Later, he knew he had to find a place to camp for the night and started looking for a quiet, remote spot where he wouldn't be disturbed.
Your destination is on the left.
Is this it? Ooh, that must be the reservoir there on the left. Let's see if we can get somewhat fly. Oh. Horrible weather. Okay. Right. Okay. We're now level. We're home for the evening. Finally. What a job. What a job. That's where we are. Ibrook Corner. Oakham. We are right on the edge of this reservoir here, which as for tonight, we can't see at all because it's pitch black. But we got our home for the evening. And we're in. And we're in. Oh. That was a rough drive.
Eventually, Brendan found a secluded spot near a lake. It was completely dark and quiet with no one around. After parking and leveling his van, he began cooking burgers, unaware his night was just getting started. Soon, he realized the spot wasn't as isolated as he'd believed.
Outside. Just parked up looking at us, and somebody is coming towards the van with a head torch on. Someone's at the back of the van. What the hell is this person doing? He's just sat there. The headlights shine at the van. There was absolutely no reason why anyone should be down this road at this time of night unless they're camping. That's a car, not a van. Another car's just pulled up. A couple of blokes just stood round. What the hell are they doing? What was supposed to be a quiet spot is turning into the complete opposite. Someone else has bloody pulled in now. Why are they coming that close? This is weird. We got another one turning up. What the hell? Way too many of them. Not enough of me. Oh. Look at them all, look. Look at them all.
Suddenly, a car pulled up near Brendan's van, its headlights shining bright. Then another car arrived, and then another. A few men got out and started walking toward his van. Feeling uneasy, Brendan wanted to leave but couldn't. His van was still on the leveling ramps, so he had to step outside to remove them first. Luckily, nothing happened, and maybe the men meant no harm, but this is a clear lesson. Always have an exit plan before camping. If Brendan had to leave fast, those ramps could have wasted valuable time. For 2 years, James, who lives full-time in his van and makes YouTube videos, traveled across the UK without anything truly scary happening. He'd heard many stories from other van dwellers about strange things, knocks at night, strange people nearby, but those always felt like exaggerated rumors. That changed one cold night in Sunderland, when James faced his own nightmare. He parked in what seemed like the perfect spot, a quiet, remote lane with almost no traffic, away from city noise. After spending the evening researching for a vlog, he was tired and went to bed. Hours passed quietly, then suddenly, a loud, hard bang hit the side of his van right above his head. The loud noise snapped James awake, his body reacting before he fully understood what was happening. He sat still in the dark, his mind still foggy from sleep. The figure standing against the glass felt wrong, like it was waiting for something. Then shouting started outside, muffled, rough, and angry. James couldn't understand the words, but the tone was clearly hostile. After a short time, the stranger came back and began writing on his van's window. James couldn't make out what was being written on the window, but he knew this wasn't just some random drunk walking by, it was intentional. This person had a reason. Minutes passed as James stayed inside, holding his camera, listening to the stranger shout strange, unclear words into the night. He thought about going outside to confront him, but something inside told him to stay where he was. For almost half an hour, the man circled the van, mumbling about mental health, voices in his head, and other unsettling things. James's mind raced with questions. Was this person dangerous? Was he searching for something? Was he alone? At one point, James thought about starting the engine and driving off, but then he realized he'd made a terrible mistake.
And then I thought I'd get in cab and drive off, but I'm facing wrong way. It's a dead end down there. So that's something to bear in mind in future. But that's the first time in 2 years. That is the first time anything remotely like that has happened. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, like near a farm. Well, you'll see, I don't know if it'll get on this vlog or whatever, you'll see where I am. I'm still not going to be negative about van life or all like that. As I said, it's first time in 2 years this has happened.
If James moved now, he'd risk alerting the stranger. With fogged windows blocking his view, he waited as the man finally wandered off, his voice fading into the night. Moments later, another van passed, and the stranger vanished into the darkness. The experience shook James deeply. This felt far from random. The man's focus on the van and the writing on the window seemed too deliberate. At dawn, James checked the van and saw the message but never shared it. Despite the fear, he vowed to stay cautious but not give up van life. Still, as he packed up, he couldn't shake the feeling the stranger might still be watching from the shadows. The YouTube channel Exploring the Unknown usually investigates haunted spots, but this video wasn't planned that way. The creator and his girlfriend were camping deep in Michigan's forests, looking for a quiet night away from their usual paranormal hunts. But around 4 a.m., their peaceful break took a sharp turn into something much more disturbing.
Alright guys, it's like 4 in the morning. I had to get up to pee, and so did Katana. So we pitched a fire over there. Sorry, the quality is not the best, but off in the distance I hear like yelping. I hope you guys can hear it.
I cannot hear it, but Brian keeps saying it's there. I keep hearing something in the woods right behind our campsite walking around.
The yelping is coming from this direction.
Are you still hearing the footsteps? Because I'm not.
Yeah. I heard footsteps over here.
Should I grab my flashlight?
I think another light would not hurt.
I just don't want to leave the car like too long of a distance.
After waking up to use the bathroom and restart their campfire, they heard strange sounds in the forest. What began as distant yelps grew into heavy footsteps and eerie noises moving closer to their tent. They shone flashlights, but saw nothing nearby. Tension grew when a whistle sounded, then silence, followed by loud cracks and movement in the woods. Feeling unsafe, they decided to pack up and leave.
I'm not seeing or hearing anything.
What's weird is that this happened when we were going to bed too, except without the yelping.
I don't find it that weird. We were hiking up the trail and probably spooked some of the other campers.
That was hours before we went to bed.
I know, but we've done it at night before. Have we not?
Did you hear that?
The branch?
Yeah, that sounded big.
Could be a little deer.
Well, it's kind of, I guess, alarming to me that the yelping stopped.
Was that a whistle?
I think so.
There were footsteps by that campsite. Dude, literally was...
Hello?
There gotta have to be another camper.
It's 4 in the morning. Who's gonna be up?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's weird. But we're up.
You hear that? No, that.
Though the footage is shaky and the audio quiet, viewers with headphones say they hear something moving just out of frame. Some believe it might be Bigfoot, even sharing timestamps where shadows seem to show something, whether it was a person, an animal, or something else. One thing is clear: if the forest feels off, it's best to leave. In this unsettling video from Brazilian YouTube channel Cazadores de Sombras, run by Luca and Yuri, who explore haunted places and dark legends, no story is too scary. Here, their friend Jordy takes on a solo challenge, spending the night alone in a long, abandoned, supposedly haunted house. It's April 20th, 2025. The house is set up with cameras to catch anything strange. At first, everything is quiet except for an eerie silence, but once Jordy goes to bed, the atmosphere changes. At first, Jordy didn't notice one of the heavy doors slowly creaking open by itself. Maybe for the best. The cameras caught it, but he hadn't seen it yet. This was only the start, and soon he'd realize this house wasn't like any other. The loud banging on the door woke Jordy up. Still groggy and tense, he got up to check, but by the time he reached the hallway, the noise had stopped. Confused, he searched the house, but found no one. The silence afterward felt heavier, like the house was holding its breath. He wondered if it was just the wind, but had no way to check the cameras yet, only questions. He went back to his spot, made some tea, trying to calm down. After hours of being on edge, exhaustion took over, and he fell back asleep. The rest of the night was quiet, except for a few strange outside noises Jordy convinced himself were animals. Morning brought relief, but one question stayed. What caused that bang? Later, the footage showed a door swinging open and slamming shut on its own, with no clear cause. Was it just the wind, or something else beyond understanding? You decide. The Junkyard Fox is a channel that covers everything from survival skills to camping and living off the land. Usually, his videos are calm and fun to watch as he camps in simple tents or shelters he built himself. But in this video, something happened that might make anyone think twice about camping alone.
Here in beautiful West Texas, my usual stomping grounds, because I'm going to be spending the night in my primitive shelter. So for those of you who are not caught up, a couple months back, I want to say about 2 months ago, possibly 3 months ago, I filmed a video where I made a primitive shelter solely out of desert materials like yucca stalks, creosote, rocks, dead grass, you know, so on and so forth. And I'm very proud of that video. I'm very proud of that shelter. It is probably my favorite video of 2021. Now, about a week later after making that video, I came to stay out here, and to mixed results, because it was a very spur of the moment thing and I wasn't very organized. And though I managed to successfully stay the night here and, you know, all that stuff, but I could have done things better because I was freezing. Now, once again, that was 3 months ago. It was like late February, so of course it was still colder. It's much warmer now. Okay, folks, so here is my camp. As you can tell, there's been a lot of winds. That's something a lot of people don't realize, but out in the open desert, I mean, we get some 30-mile-an-hour winds sometimes. And of course, you know, the shelter is going to need to constantly be updated and, you know, renovated, right? Like any home. Yeah, luckily, at first when I got here, I was sweating buckets. But look, check it out. It's starting to get nice and gloomy. So we may see a little bit of rain later. That'd be nice. And I can actually see a lizard. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right behind the Motley Crue poster, there's like a little lizard just hanging out.
That was the big scare, a tiny lizard. Just kidding. Once he set up camp, he made a fire to cook and then settled into bed, getting ready for the night.
Folks, so it's time to call it a night. Like I said, today, you know, I'm not really hanging out in terms of, you know, having some beers around the fire or nothing like that. It's more of a test of, you know, being out here and stuff. And I foresee today being nicer anyway, an easier night, because forecast looks like the night's going to drop to the, you know, early 60s, late 50s at most. So it's really nothing too bad. In case of anything, I do have my jacket here. And then I do also have my shamog down here, and I apologize for the crappy lighting. So in case of anything, I could just wrap that around my face or whatever. And that's about it. So in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll make some coffee. And that's about it for me. So have a good night, everyone.
But the night wasn't over yet.
Okay, folks, so change of plans. I was asleep for 2 hours. Then I woke up to a truck driving nearby, and my truck. They legitimately the windows on my truck. People I don't know. This is crazy. Look, these are my windows. This is insane. Once again, I have no clue who these people are. They're just drunks. I could hear the loud music. That's what woke me up. And sure enough, so I'm guessing this trip is over. Oh man, what a mess.
We live in a crazy world. Who would shoot at the windows of a parked truck for no reason? I don't know. It makes me lose faith in people sometimes. The good thing is, no one was hurt. He got out safely, but I doubt he'll ever go back there. Meet CJ Faison, a thrill seeker always chasing the unknown. This time, he's with his friends, Dylan and Chris. What started as a simple camping trip turned into an unforgettable night. They camp in New Jersey's Pine Barrens, a forest known for its eerie stories. Locals compare it to Pocomoke Forest, but CJ senses something even darker here.
Some people that told us, oh, CJ, the Pine Barrens, it like kind of reminds me of the Pocomoke Forest, you gotta come up here. This is not like the Pocomoke at all. This has its own level of creepiness that Boys, we're literally in the middle of nowhere. People from Shea Jersey Devil, so I think it's... Oh gosh, okay. I'll get with somebody. Alright, bro, I know I saw something. Huge forest. Is it millions of acres, huh? 1.1 billion. We're not really 4-3. No. Maybe 5. No. So at least we have batteries, which is good. We need to go... Spooky Dookies are literally gonna have you happening guys. Watch you go there. I don't know, but they're looking for something.
Is that what you saw earlier?
With camp set and firewood ready, they try to relax. But things turn tense when a strange car starts circling their sight, moving slowly and deliberately. Its repeated passes raise questions. Who's watching them and why?
Just clear it. Make sure they either left, or if they haven't left, just scope it out. You know what I mean? Fine, yeah. Let's just watch this car go away, though. You can pull up, though.
Just mosey along.
There's sunglasses?
Let's see right there.
bro. What the f? That's a setup. That is a setup right there.
Know.
I don't know. Just go straight. Go straight. Go straight. Go straight. That's a setup. That is a setup.
There's somebody in the woods right now?
Gotta be. There's a light?
Yeah.
Suspicious, they follow the car, hoping to figure it out. They find it parked by a bridge, a known spot for weird encounters. Then, a scream cuts through the forest's silence. Back at camp, CJ lies awake in his tent with a spirit talker, trying to make contact, but the device stays silent.
Literally nothing. Okay. I guess, spirits don't want to participate tonight.
Moments later, something slams into his tent. He scrambles to wake his friends, but they're still asleep. Then another bang, louder, closer.
Guys, are you up? Dylan? Chris? Guys, are you up? Dylan? Chris? You guys hear that? Chris? Dylan? Guys? Or something along those lines. What? It's 2:30 in the morning. I need you guys to get up. I don't care if you're freezing around here, and I don't want to stay here anymore. I'm not going to sleep. I'm wide awake right now. I'm like petrified. Like, I'm not trying to be now, but there's like stuff happening all around us. There's a light right back there. Leave your light off for a second. Leave your light off.
I see it. Look on the viewfinder.
Can you see it?
With flashlights in hand, they head out. Something is out there. They see a faint light between the trees and hear a distant voice. It's 2:30 in the morning. Who's out here? The tension grows when they spot a figure. Then their flashlight dies.
Straight ahead to the trees.
Just wait.
Oh my god, dude!
Voice, bro. That's a voice.
It's 2:30 in the morning. Be out here. Dude, that light.
It's gotta be a person, dude. There's a light, and now there's like a scream in the distance.
That light's just standing way out there.
I'm gonna ask this, you guys. Do you feel comfortable driving that camera there?
It's gone.
It's gone.
Look.
If it is a person, is if we're in infrared mode. We have to have that camera and this camera, and we just gotta balls up, walk over that way, get the person on camera, then we call the cops. We leave, we call the cops and say, there's someone harassing us in the woods. That's what we do. We call the cops and say, there's someone harassing us in the woods. At this point, we're in the upstate of New Jersey. You can't have, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, if this guy is like screwing with us, I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact I heard footsteps. I don't know where, but I kept hearing footsteps. And then something hit my tent. I thought it might have been a branch. There's no branches over top of my tent whatsoever.
Determined to find out what's going on, they grab their infrared camera and head deeper into the woods. Then they find something that stops them cold.
What the... Bro, there's something over here moving.
Bro, just go back.
No way.
What?
What?
What is it?
Welcome back.
What is it? What is it?
It's a balloon. It's tied to a post that says welcome back.
Wait.
I swear on my life, Chris, it says
How?
welcome back.
Where'd it come from?
I don't know.
There was nothing there earlier. We already driven through here.
I swear on my life. I can show you the footage. It's a balloon. It's like tied to this thing. It's like moving. There's no air moving. There's like nothing moving.
There's nothing.
The balloon is like this, and it says welcome back on the balloon. I swear.
A balloon tied to a post, gently swaying in the still air, reads 2 words. Welcome back. It wasn't there before. The footage confirms it. Someone put it there. Someone was watching. Terrified, they rush back to camp. Panic sets in.
So who wouldn't even know we were coming out here? We didn't tell anybody.
Wait, something just moved by the tent.
I saw that.
just go over there. I don't want to be out here anymore. I'm ready to just leave. I want to leave my car somewhere on the side of the road. I'm good. I'm out of here. We can get the tents in the morning, honestly.
They were never supposed to be here, yet someone knew they'd come. Whoever it was wanted them there. They leave everything, tents, supplies, the fire, and run into the night, leaving the Pine Barrens and whatever was watching them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.